In this video, I'm gonna show you how to create dashboards for your customers or for your team. So first of all, what you need to do is to create, to connect the data sources for each account. So once, you integrated each data source, you're gonna be able to choose which ad accounts you wanna add per each data source. And once you already, added all the data sources, you can go to the dashboards and start creating. We'll create a new one here in this video so you can understand how everything works. We're gonna add a new dashboard here. Let's call it KPIs performance. So inside each dashboard, you can add different widgets, tiles, tables, charts, and power tables. We're gonna look at each one of these in a couple of minutes. So let's start by adding a new chart where you can basically choose, what type of model you want to use. In this example, we're going to go with the ad network data. And let's say we want to create, a chart for the spend by campaign. So you have to choose what type you want. You have pie, bar, and line chart. Let's start with the bar chart for now. You can use the stacking. I'm going to show you what this means in a second. Let's use Facebook for now. We're gonna add here Meta, and you have to choose the ad account. You have to choose the metric. In this case, we're gonna use amount spent, and the date. For the data, obviously you can choose whatever customizable date you want. Let's choose this year. And then you want to group, the bar chart, the columns can be days, weeks, month, quarter, or years. We're gonna choose month. And you can split it by any number of criteria here. So for example, region, country, ad account, ad campaigns, and whatnot. So in this example, we're going to choose campaign, and let's save it and see how it looks. And here, as you can see, this is the stacking alternative where you have one basically campaign stacked on top of the other. You can roll over to see which one is which one. You can, turn on and off the ones you don't want to see. And if you want to see the without the stacking, let's take it out and update. You can see here how, was the spent per each campaign. Let's say now we want to add a line chart. So let's create a new one. In this case, we're going to add a line chart for, the CPL by campaign. Let's say if this account is, a B2B type of customer that you have obviously a lead generation type of campaign. So we're going to choose Meta again. We're going to choose the same account. Let's say we're building a, a dashboard for this customer here. And we're going to choose, in this case, let's say this quarter. And the metric is going to be cost per lead, cost per conversions for leads. We're going to group it by week. We want to see week over week, and we're going to split it by campaign again, okay? As you can see, there is one outlier here. You can basically turn it off so you can see, the data. It makes more sense now. There is a lot of campaigns here. One thing you can do is add a filter. So for example, if you wanna, in this case, we are looking for basically all campaigns from this account for the cost per conversion, right? But if you wanna see, for example, only, you can add a condition for the whole chart. So let's say we wanna see only those that have at least a specific number of conversions. So conversions bigger than 10, for example. So we only see the ones that brought the most volume, right? Okay, I think that is better. This is more easy to look at. Okay, so let's add now a pie chart, for example. Let's say we want to see how many conversions is each campaign bringing. So we're gonna call this conversions by campaign, pie chart, Meta, same account for, let's say, this year again, and we're gonna choose here conversions, and we're gonna split it again by campaign. Great. Now let's say we want to add a power table. This is sort of like a pivot table in Google Sheets type of table. So let's stay with Meta for now, and we are gonna call this campaigns KPIs. And we're gonna choose the same account. In this case, you can add several metrics to the table. So let's say we wanna add, for example, amount spent, I don't know, CDR and clicks. You wanna choose, for example, we wanna see this maybe, I don't know, for this month. And in the columns, we wanna split it by week, and in the rows by campaign. Again, we can add a filter here. So we'll save it. Here's the table. Per each campaign, you can see the amount spent week over week for this month, then the CTR, and then the number of clicks. So there's a lot of things you can do here, obviously, since you can split the columns not only by day, week, month, quarter, and year, as well, by country, region, ad account, device, gender, and a lot of other options. Same thing for the rows. So basically you can build whatever table you want here. Let's say now we want to build a table that mixes data from different sources. So for example, if you want to build, I don't know, how many conversions was brought from Google and how many from Meta, what was the total for the whole account, and what is the cost per conversion considering both sources. What you can do in that case basically is you need to create custom metrics. So basically we're going to create one here. Spent for Meta, we're going to choose Meta as a source, amount spent, and in this case we want only for the ad account we were working before, which is this customer here. We're going to do the same thing for conversions. Now we're going to do the same thing for Google. Great, let's see how this is looking. So we can add, as well, what we call tiles, which are like high-level KPIs. So we're going to create a tile for this year for spent for Meta. There you have it. Another one spent for Google, again for this year. Now the conversions. Now what we want to do is we want to calculate the total spent and the total conversions. In this case, we're going to need what we call a calculated metric. So basically the calculated metric is a formula. So we're going to put in here total spent. So it's basically the spent for Google plus the spent for Meta. You need to use the exact name of each metric here for it to work. That's it. And now what we have to do is basically divide, the spend divided by the conversions. Create a new calculated metric here. We're going to see how it looks now in the dashboard. Let's add total conversions for this year. Okay, there you have it. Now, if you want to see how these metrics, trend month over month, you can do basically, you can add a table. Let's call it cost per conversion, Google and Meta. And we're gonna add here spent Meta, spent Google, the total spent. Then we're gonna add the conversions for each. Conversions Google, sorry, we're gonna Meta first, conversions Google, now total conversions, and finally the cost per conversion, which is here. We're gonna choose the date, let's say for this year, and we're gonna group it month over month. Okay, there you have it. So as you can see here, you were investing in Meta in the first 4 months, but then you started investing. You always invested in Google, so you have here the total spent month over month. How many conversions did Meta bring? Did Google? The total, and what was the cost per conversion month over month? Is it improving or not? So that is how you create, a table mixing up data from different sources. So a couple of more things to consider. Each dashboard, has their own date filter. So if you want to put a filter here, it's going to basically change the date of all the components in the dashboard. And, if you want to share this with your team or your customers, you don't have to share your access to Master Metrics. You can basically share a link with them. So if you create a public link, basically you can add your logo here. And once you added the logo, you can add, which dashboard, do you want to share, put a name to the link. And once you share the link, and they click it, they're gonna basically see, visually how, the reporting without logging into the software. So this is a great way to share, customers or team members, how the campaign is going in real time. So this is how you build a dashboard inside Master Metrics. If you wanna, if you don't have an account, you can sign up for one for free in mastermetrics.com. Basically, this is our website, so if you click here, start a free trial, you're gonna be able to complete a form and start trying out the product.